NTR Degree College, NTR Women's Degree College, Mahbub Nagar, N. Jagadishwari, third semester syllabus. We are going to deal with the lesson. The new lesson is A Wrong Man in Workers' Paradise. A wrong man in Workers' Paradise. We shall start the lesson what has been given in this lesson. This lesson was being written by Rabindranath Tagore, and what are the viewpoints that are being given in this lesson you can have to glance here. A Wrong Man in Workers' Paradise. This was being written by Rabindranath Tagore and translated from the original Bengali B. Bhattacharya Dev. So you can have the overview of the lesson. What is the lesson which has been seen in the representation of himself here. So we can just see what are the things that are being given in the lesson. The man never believed in utility. The man never believed in utility. Having had no useful work to do, he indulged in mad whims. He made a little pieces of sculpture, men, women and castles. Quaint earthen things dotted over the seashells he painted. Thus he wasted his time on all that was useless and unnecessary. People laughed at him. Sometimes he would vow to shake off his mad whims, but his mad whims would keep clinging to his mind. So the man never believed in his utility. So he does not have the hope of the concept in the utility of all the works what he had done. Then he indulged in man's whims of a little pieces in the having of these sculpture, with the having of these men, women and castles, by making of these quaint earthen dotted over with the seashells. So whatever the utility of the work he had done, he did not become his. He is saying that there is no purpose of the utility, and these are the things that are being done. All the time that he has painted has become waste, has time, and that is useless and unnecessary. The people also, if that happens, the people also laughed at him, and sometimes he would vow to shake off his mad whims. So whatever the thing that he had done, he had been considered that this was mad, and he became in the mindset of the clinging of his mind that so whatever the work was being done was wasteless there. Some boys never ply their books and yet pass their examinations. Similarly, you are seeing with one example. So what is the example that you are going to see is, some boys never ply their books and yet pass their examinations. So you should have to see, before this writing of the examination and passing also, children has to never study, or they are not very busy with work, having the books, yet they are going to have to try their passing in their examinations. Similar thing happened to this man. He spent all his life unnecessary work over the planet. So similarly, when the small children, they are not going to appear by not reading of the examinations yet to pass there, so also when man went to the space of the earth of the planet, if he doesn't have any work there to do, that even after the death also he has to reach, when he has not done anything on the earth's surface, once he reaches to the heaven also, he does not even have any work to do open for them. But the moving finger right even in the heavens. So it came to pass that Ariel messenger who took the change of man made a mistake and found a place for him in the workers' paradise. So but the moving finger of the heavens. When we think that here we do not have any work, we think that when we go to the paradise, even in the paradise also we have a lots of leisure of the work to do. So there, if you can think in the paradise, you can't have any work to do there. So except leisure, you can have all the getting of the works to be done in the paradise. So heavenly, so satisfyingly you can work there, and at that time you will be busy in the having of your works there. Hey men say, God, we have even a moment to spare. Women whisper, let us hurry on, dear. Time is flying. All exclaim, time is precious. We always have our hands full. We are making use of every single minute. They sigh complainingly, and at those words make feel happy and exalted there. So whatever the things that you say, you will be saying of going entering into the paradise. So you can say that we are not having anything here to do, but when we go or when we reach to this heaven of the paradise, you will think that we'll be very happy there. So all the works are being done in the paradise, and you will be very happy there with having, because God will be there and He will give momentum of space. At that time, all will appear like a flying. Then all will exclaim, the time is precious there. So whatever the time is there, the time is precious for you to not even waste a single minute also. We always have hands full of making it use of every single minute there. They sigh complainingly, and yet those words making them feel and also to be exalted. So whatever the thing that when you go or when you step into the paradise, you can even enter into the having of the paradise to work there, not even with a seconds of moments there. But this newcomer who had passed all his life on the earth planet without employment did not fill in the scheme of things in workers' paradise. So whatever these things are going to be happen in that, just when a person, you just take the example of a person who has just entered into the life of the planet of these workers' paradise without having any employment in the earth's atmosphere there. Then he went into the atmosphere to that where the workers of the paradise are going to be taken into the work there. He longed in the streets absent-mindedly and jostly with the hurrying men. So these are the things. When this person entered into the paradise, he longed in the streets there. So he longed in the streets. He was very absent in the mindedly, and he makes all the people in the hurrying men there. He lay down in the green meadows. So he also laid down in the green meadows, going here and there. He was taken by to take. He was already again taken by the task by farmers, with the busy farmers. He was always in the way of others. So he was always in the way of others. So that was the thing which was going to be happen in the paradise, and this was being identified by a person who even know the work of the utility person while he entered into the paradise there. An hustling active girl went every day to a silent torrent. So one day he was going to see a person or a girl called a hustling active girl went every day to a silent torrent, where this silent refers to the workers of the paradise. Even a torrent did not waste its energy by singing. So whatever the singing, so even though they are not going to waste even a single minute of energy in the workers' paradise there to fill the picture with water. So this was already being done by the girl very near to the place of the paradise of an unknown person, those who entered into the paradise. The girl's movement on the road. The girl's movement on the road was like the rapid movement of a skilled hand on the strings of a guitar. So how was the movement of a girl was there on the, so the girl's movement on the road was like the rapid movement of a skilled hand on the strings of a guitar. Her hair was carelessly done. Her hair was carelessly done. A few inquisitive wisps flew on white forehead to peep at the dark wonder of her eye. So this was the description of a girl. How the movement of the girl was on the road. So this was the happened by the movement of the girl on the road, by the movement of a skilled hand on the strings of a guitar. Her hair was carelessly done. Very few inquisitive sweeps flew on her forehead to peep at the dark of her wonder eye. So the description of the girl is being with the expressions of these skilled hand on the which herself hands are going to put on the guitar. Her hair was carelessly done there, and she wisps again, or she gives some of the sounds by the wisping of like her to see her white head forehead to peep at the dark wonder of her eyes. So the total description of the girl is being by the showingness of all the characteristics. Then the unemployed man was standing by the fountain. So he was very nearly standing by the fountain, motionless. So he was standing with the motionless, as a princess see a lonely beggar through her window. Then how he was seeing? He was seeing like a lonely beggar through her window, and is filled with pity. And how he is filled with pity, and the busy girl of heaven saw the unemployed man. So this girl saw the unemployed person who was very filled with showing the characterization of the pityness there. So you can know the word of this pity, how pleased it will be. So these are the happenings are being done in the unemployed person, and these all the situations are being faced by the torrent girl, which the skilled movement of herself is showing a strings of a guitar on her wonder of her eye there. Ah, she said, you haven't any work in hand, have you? Then she is saying, and he is going to say to that girl, you haven't any work in hand, have you? Then the man said, then how the man said? The man said, work? I haven't a moment to spare to a work. So I haven't any moment there to spare for work, even though I am having a lot of thing to do also. But he is saying that I don't have even enough spare for the work to do also. The girl did not understand his words. So the girl did not understand the unemployed man's words. So she said, I manage to spare some work for you. Then I manage to spare some work for you from your hands. The man replied again, the girl of the silent torrent, all this time I have been waiting here only to take some work from your hands. Then the man replied to the torrent girl that the girl of the silent torrent, all this time I have been waiting here to take some work from your hands. She asked, what sort of work would you like? She asked again to the person, what sort of work would you like? He said, the girl of the silent torrent could not give me one of your pictures. So give me one of your pictures for me on which you could spare. She asked, a picture? Perhaps you should like draw water from the torrent. So what is this picture? It is going to be carrying like a pot. How this pot is going to be taken from the drawing of the water from the torrent of near the seaside shore there. He replied, no, I will draw pictures on your picture. So he said, so you are naturally catching a torrent there. On that torrent, I am going to draw on your picture there. The girl became annoyed and said, I have no time to waste on people such as you. And she is saying that I am not having any time to waste with you or the people of you like going. And she away and away she went. She went again by the replying of giving of this answer to the unemployed person. But how could a busy person get the better of one what he had nothing to do? So a busy person is there. He is there to be getting what has to do nothing. Every day they met, and every day he said to her, girl of the silent torrent. So the girl of the silent torrent, give me one of your pictures, I will draw on it. Give me some of your pictures, I will draw on it. So the girl of the silent, give me, she said. At last she had to give way and him over one of the pictures. And she asked and she lastly begged her to give one of the pictures of the torrent to the unemployed person. At last she had to give away and hand him over one of the pictures. She gave at last one of the picture to the person. The man began to paint on it. The man began to paint on it. He drew line after line. He drew line after line and put color after color. He put color after color. When he had finished, the girl held up the picture. When he had finished, the girl held up the picture and stared at its side with eyes filled with wonder, and then rose down into an arc. She asked, what do they mean? She asked, what do they mean? All these lines and all these colors. So they said, all these lines and all these colors, and what is their purpose? And what is their purpose? So after he has been drawn into the arc, and what do you mean by these lines with the colors? And he decorated with all with the colors and lines with the having of the things are to be done there. The man laughed. So thus unemployed man laughed. Nothing. A picture has never the picture has never has meaning, and it never serves its purpose. And it never serves its purpose. The girl went away with the picture. So again, the girl went with her picture at home, away, prying eyes. She held it into light and turned it round and scanned with the painting from all the angles. So she went, turned it round and scanned with the painting from all angles. At night, she left her bed, lit a lamp and scanned it in again silence and wonder. For the first time in her life, she had seen something. They had no meaning and no purpose at all. When she set out from the torrent the next day, her hurrying feet were a little less hurrying than before. For in her mind thoughts and arisen thoughts that had no meaning and no purpose. She saw the unemployed man standing by torrent and asked confusedly, oh, what? What do you want from me? What do you want from me? He said, only some work from your hands. And what sort of work would you like? Then he said that, He said, only some work from your hands. He is asking, I want some work from your hands. And some sort of work would you like? And what of sort of work would you like again? The girl is asking again the question. Let me view a colored ribbon for your hair. So let me view a colored ribbon for your hair if you will. So if you will only, I will do that one. And what for? Nothing. And what for? She is asking. Nothing. Ribbons were made, gleaming with colors. The busy girls of workers' paradise had to now spend a long time. So the busy workers of the paradise has to spend a long time every day in tying the colored ribbon around her hair. The minutes slid by unutilized, much work was left unfinished. Then these are the words that are being seen, that the busy girl of workers paradise had to now spend a long time every day in tying the colors, and the ribbon around her minutes slid by unutilized, much work was unfinished. In workers' paradise, work had of late began to suffer. Many persons who had been active before were now idle. So, in the workers' paradise, you will be seeing of a work. They are very busy with the work. And even also, many persons who had been active before, they were to idle, wasting their precious moments on unnecessary things such as painting and sculpture. So they even have, when all the people may come also, they are very busy with the having the doing of the